Being invited to the symposium was truly the right time. This is a message that I've been not only learning about myself, but presenting on for about a year. And it's a huge gap in our national trauma system in terms of how are we going to deal with major war, major natural disasters. How do we better tie our national trauma system together? And it really goes back to Mission Zero, the Mission Zero Act of 2017 that said these military and civilian institutions need to integrate. The healthcare systems across our country need to integrate, not just for combat casualty care, but for the civilian care of our patients when bad things happen. And if we're doing it together, we're likely to be more successful. And I think there are some huge takeaways for the research community and the UT health system community to look at what we're focusing on for research, the human factors, the team performance, the logistics and capacity challenges, and really start to just become laser focused on taking one bite of that elephant at a time. One of the things that has come out of these MilCiv partnerships is that we need to embed our military personnel to sustain skills in these major trauma centers so that they can maintain those combat casualty skills to take care of folks if we go to war. That's super important, but that's been a one-sided relationship for a long time, for the past 20 years. And while there's been some research advantages and research that has come out of those collaborations, I think we have really come up short in terms of preparing our civilian partners for what it means to be a part of this national disaster medical system, being a part of a national trauma system that's going to care for folks in the worst times of things. So I think we have more alike than we do different. I think there are some things that are translatable. There are some combat-related injuries that are more resource intensive than our civilian counterparts are used to in terms of the amount of surgery they need, the specialty care they need, the rehab facilities they need for their complex wounds, that we really owe it to them to start thinking about in these MilCiv partnerships how we're preparing them for that particular class of patients. But obviously, being in these MilCiv partnerships, I get to take care of the citizens of Cincinnati. I took care of the citizens of San Antonio for 9 years. I think blood transfusions, tourniquets, and several other innovations that have come out of the last 20 years of DoD and civilian research has been just incredible in terms of being able to take care of the citizens of our nation. We really are, as John F. Kennedy said, building the roof while the sun is shining. It is very tempting in times of the interwar periods when we can become a little bit complacent. But the other challenge is this is a complex problem set we have for a national disaster medical system to take care of large combat scale operation influx of casualties. So I think people get a little paralyzed by the thought of how much work it's going to take and what those challenges are. And I think if there was one message that I hope to convey to the audience today is that if we just take this a bite at a time, we can actually solve some of these issues. If we become laser focused on the need, laser focused on building the system that will enable us to deter any large combat scale operation, that would be the most beneficial, not just to us warfighters, but also to our civilian citizens that will be impacted if our civilian centers are all of a sudden taking care of wounded soldiers.